What's up, guys? I'm EJ. I'm a live looping artist, a musician, and now a streamer. I know a lot of us musicians have been heavily impacted by the pandemic, especially its limitations that we're not able to get gigs anymore nowadays. This episode is mainly going to focus on how you can get better quality audio and video on your broadcasts. Before we go through the equipment that we're going to need, I want to say I wouldn't recommend that you guys get all these stuff at the same time. Especially nowadays, so we want to save as much as we can. So we are going to check what we already have at home and then check what we can acquire to get the full setup of the basic but better quality audio and video streams. So of course, number one on my list would be the instruments that you guys are gonna need, what have you. Maybe you're a guitar player. In my case, I have an acoustic guitar, and that's what I use to play online. So if you have keyboards or whatever your instrument is, then you better get ready. Second is the microphone. It depends on what you have. If you already have a dynamic microphone or a condenser microphone like this one, then that's what we're gonna use. It depends on your Act 2. In my case, I have a condenser, but I can't use it because I loop my songs, so I have to use a dynamic mic because I cannot have a too much sensitive microphone. So it depends on what performance you're gonna have. If you're just gonna sing and play along with your instrument, then a condenser mic would be ideal for you. Third in my list would be the sound card. It depends on what you already have, but if you don't have any yet, the cheapest that I know is what they call the V8 sound card. So it has the instrument input and a mic input, and it also has onboard effects like a reverb to help you get better sound quality when you sing. So you have different options. Aside from that, you can also use a real mixer as long as it has the USB port. That way you can connect it to your computer. You can also use an audio interface, but it depends on what you're trying to achieve because most audio interface do not have onboard effects. Fourth on my list would be the headphone or a headset. It depends on what you already have. I wouldn't recommend you buy like a brand new one if you already have one, because it's just one way for us to monitor if we're sounding okay on our streams. So in my case, I use a headphone. You can also use an in-ear earphones. That way you can monitor what's going on and you can hear your instrument and yourself as you sing in your broadcast. All right, fifth on my list is not the camera yet, but the lighting. You can get better quality with a cheap camera with good lighting conditions in your room than a very expensive camera without having ideal lighting condition in your room. I have it prioritized more than the camera because it controls the environment and how visible you are going to be. Of course, the camera is important because you won't have any use of the lights without the camera, but I would recommend if you're on a budget, you get good lighting with a basic camera than getting a very expensive camera without any lights. In my case, I use ring lights. Those are the cheapest that you guys can get here in the Philippines. I also have like some light fixtures to show some colors in the background. And I use the old school DMX lighting fixtures. So I have a light right here. This is my key light, and then this is my fill light. So I have a light, another light, and then another light right here as my backlight. That way, I can get myself separated from the background. If you guys can get 3 lights, they're very cheap online anyway. You guys get 3 of them or 2 maybe. Then use a room light. Next would be camera. So it depends on your budget, what you want to use. If you're really on a budget and you can't afford a camera just yet, you can use your phone camera and then just mirror it on the software. That way it will act as your camera. But if you can't afford one, I use a Brio, like a Logitech Brio. It's a webcam and it's a plug and play device. You won't have any problem setting it up because the computer is already going to detect it as a camera source. So all you have to do is just add it on your software and you're good to go. If you want to get the best quality video, you can get a mirrorless camera just like what I'm using right now. I don't have the upgraded lenses just yet. This is just the kit lens that comes with a camera, but it's way better looking than my Brio. So if you want to get the DSLR effect for video quality on your streams, then you can use that. But aside from the mirrorless, you also want to get a CamLink, a device that connects your camera to the computer. That way it would see it as a webcam. And then of course you're gonna need a computer. This is where you will install the software, and this is where all the processing is gonna happen. So you can get a laptop or a desktop. It depends on your budget, and that's where you want to install OBS. OBS is a software that I use to set up my live streams. This is where everything comes together. Like the video from your camera to the mixer or the sound card that you have going to your computer. This is where it all comes together. before it goes out to whatever platform you want to stream on, let's say Facebook. By the way, you can also use the same setup to make cover songs because OBS has the capability to record. So if you want to do live recordings, it's the same thing. You're going to use OBS and everything will be there. Those are the things that you're going to need to get the better quality audio and video on your streams. If you have any questions, feel free to comment down below. Feel free to also check my Facebook page, which is Papa EJ TV. This is where I stream online. I stream at 4 p.m. Manila, so that's 4 a.m. Eastern. You can also check me on Kumu. I stream on Facebook and Kumu simultaneously. I'll put the link in the description below. If you like this video, you can consider subscribing to my channel. Thank you guys for your support. You guys enjoy the rest of your day and happy streaming.